In this video I'm going to be sowing 4 different salad crops that can be sown now and we can be harvesting from late autumn onwards into winter. Welcome back to the garden. Today I'm in the summer house because it's been a little bit damp outside, so I've brought my potting tray inside where it's dry and where it's a little bit warmer. First of all, I'm going to show you my first one that I'm going to be sowing today, and this is a lettuce, a lamb's lettuce called Vit, and this is a lovely little lettuce. It can be sown now, and the seeds are lovely like a creamy colour. So this type of lettuce grows to about 4 to 6 inches and it's quite tolerant to the cold weather. So this is a good lettuce if you do want to keep it outdoors. That's perfect. You can sow it direct into one of your vegetable beds. I'm going to be sowing it into these containers because we don't have a designated space in the garden for vegetables, and I'll be keeping them in the little mini greenhouse over winter where we can delve into every now and again and get some nice lovely salad leaves. So I've got my tray filled with some multi-purpose compost and I'm just going to scatter the seeds onto the surface, not sowing too densely, just so that they're nice evenly spread out. And like I say, this is a good lettuce if you want to keep something outdoors. So if you have got some space in your vegetable beds, this is a good crop that can be utilising the space over the late autumn and winter months. So that's them evenly broadcast onto the top. And I'm going to use some perlite today just to cover up the seeds. So you can use perlite, you can use grit, and you can also just use another covering of compost. It's all fine. Just covering them up so I can't see them anymore. It's quite dusty, this perlite, so I'm probably likely to be sneezing any minute. It's like sprinkling snow. So the flavour for this is, some people describe it as minty. It's also been described as nutty. It's not one that we've ever tried before, so I'm not quite sure what it's going to taste like. So we'll make a decision on whether it is more minty or nutty when it comes to tasting it. So this can be used for, once these start to come up, we can be removing the outer leaves as cut and come again, or we can leave it to mature and get a little bit bigger and start taking the whole part of the actual lettuce itself right at the base. So that's the first one all done, and I'll just put a lovely label on that. So that's one done. So the next one I'm going to be planting is a lettuce called Winter Density. So this is a cross between a butterhead lettuce and a romaine lettuce. And these seeds are quite different to the previous one. These are not round. Quite a bit of an oval shape. So I'm just going to sprinkle them on top of the compost. And this has again a lovely flavour. Now this one is frost tolerant, but I do advise, if it gets too severe of a weather, that you do either put a cloche over it and you give it a little bit of protection, because I think if it gets too cold too often, you're going to end up losing it. So like I said, these are all going to go in our mini greenhouse, which is going to be frost proof. So we're going to be fine no matter what's happening outside. But if you are going to plant these direct into a bed outside, I would suggest you use a little bit of protection if the cold weather comes. I'm going to use some lovely perlite just to cover these up. And that's that one done, with a label. So the next one I'm going to plant it's a type of land cress. So the actual Latin name is Barbarea verna. So this is a land cress, or American cress. And this is a favourite with many people. It's quite a versatile crop. Has a bit of a peppery taste apparently. So it may taste a little bit like rocket, which is a good thing because we like rocket. And these seeds are quite small, brownish colour. So again, I'm going to place them over the top of the surface of the compost. And this can be used as a cut and come again lettuce. So you can harvest it, let it regrow, and then reharvest it again and continue that. Or you can leave it to mature and just take the whole lettuce up. That all depends on your preference. So I'm just covering these up with a good fine coating of the perlite. And like I say, you don't have to use perlite. You can cover these up with compost, or if you're sowing outdoors, you can just use a layer of soil. Now this variety will need some protection as well. So if you are planting it outside, it'd be a good idea to use maybe a cloche, or maybe use a fleece if it gets really, really cold. And now on to my final one. So these seeds were from Chiltern seeds, and this is a hardy winter lettuce mix. So this has a variety of different seeds within it. So again, trying this for the very first time. Sometimes we like to use seeds we've tried before, but also sometimes we like to try new varieties. There's that many varieties you can choose from. It's always good to mix things up a little bit, make things more interesting. So these again they all look pretty similar. So this is meant to be a mix of seeds, but all these seeds to me actually look the same. So we will see what we get. Sprinkle these all the way across. So the fact that we've got into November now and we can still be sowing seeds, albeit we may need to give them some protection from the colder weather, but there's no reason why we can't keep sowing and keep harvesting. I know there's a tendency during the winter months to want to have hot food rather than cold, so maybe we're eating a lot more cooked food that's warmer. But don't forget, we also need to maintain that balance of having the vegetables as well, and the salads. So this is a great way of ensuring we have a continuous supply of salad crops in the winter months, to try and help us encourage ourselves just to keep that burst of vitamins and lovely iron that these lettuce bring. Very nutritious and very tasty. So that is a Chiltern seed mix of winter lettuce, which I'm not convinced is different. I think it's the same all mixed together. So we will see. So that's all them seeds planted. So today I've covered the Land Cress, I've covered the winter density little gem, and also the lamb's lettuce Vit, and I've just sown the mixed lettuce from Chiltern seeds. So I just want to show you now this lettuce that we sown a few weeks back. So these are coming on really, really well. This is a winter lettuce called Winter Gem, and you can already see by now it is forming some lovely leaves. We can be taking these outer leaves off and using them as a cut and come again variety, or again we can leave it until they get a bit more mature and we can just take them all off right at the base and harvest the whole crop. So it's entirely up to you how you utilize these lovely greens. I tend to like to keep them as a cut and come again kind of crop, so we can keep coming back to them. That way we've got a continuous supply. You can always as well, with all the lettuce seeds I've just sown, if you do want succession, I would recommend you sow these again, maybe at 2-week intervals, to give yourself that continuous supply of fresh green leaves for your salads going through the autumn and going into winter. So all that's left to do now is give these a water. I'm going to water these from the base because I don't want all them little seeds running around on the surface. So I'll put them in a tray of water, and the water will seep up from the bottom into the compost, and that will get lovely and moist. So these will be going inside the little mini greenhouse we have. They'll be protected from frost from now all the way through the winter. When it gets extremely cold at night times, we'll keep an eye on the temperature in the weather forecast, and we'll make sure that the zip gets closed up. But also in the morning when it's a little bit warmer during the daytime, we'll make sure that that zip and that cover is open, because what you don't want to happen is to have that stagnant air within there. There's a lot of humidity within that little mini greenhouse, and what we're looking for to get good aeration around the crops is to make sure you open the flap and allow some of the air to get in, and allow some of that moisture to evaporate as well. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you found this video informative. It just goes to show that there are still things we can be sowing as we approach late autumn. Please give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you've not already done so. And if you have any comments regarding any of the seeds that I've been sowing today, please drop them in the comments box below. Thank you very much, and we will see you again on the next one. Take care.